just to dig deeper into this, Sandeep, I would want to understand, why someone invest in a human IPO, compared to a normal IPO, right? Why should it take that risk, or is it a better risk, right? So just to reflect like a comparison, how would a normal person look at it from a normal IPO to a human IPO? What's the difference?
Right. So there is this study, right, in the sense of all successful entrepreneurs, historically, and people looked at when is their best company coming, in the sense. It so happens that somebody's third company or fourth company ends up becoming $1 billion company, right? Like this is a very common pattern. Like even if in India you take all the big guys like Kunal Shah or Vijay Shekhar Sharma, it's generally the third startup or the fourth startup. Now imagine the investors who invested in their first company, because they saw this guy and they thought, okay, this founder has a spark, let me give some money to him. Like any angel investor is looking at people and giving money today, right? But then what about people who invest in their first company and second company, which happen to not perform really well? The third one performs or the fourth one performs, right? Because the founder will succeed because he's growing with time, he's gathering maturity he understands how to build a company, he understands the market, stuff like that, right? So the idea is exactly that, in the sense, maybe Mandate Chain might not be my successful company, maybe the next one might be, right? So how do I sort of reward my investors who invested into me, right? So that's the idea, in the sense it gives me as an entrepreneur flexibility to sort of make my decisions on the kind of companies I want to build for a long time frame, and it gives the investor a chance to sort of diverge their risk on multiple bets that I would make as an entrepreneur. So that's the difference, in the sense it's a new way of looking at risk. I think for people who make their investment calls based on the kind of person that is running the company, I know a lot of investors who are biased that way. They look at the founder and founder's capability and then invest in the company more than the idea or the market. They also matter, but that's the idea. For investors who really invest into people, human IPOs would really make more sense, because their risk would get taken care of over a period of time, instead of taking one idea, one company, investing in it, losing money or stuff like that. So that's the hope.
Just to draw out an example. For example, if today Ratan Tata was a human IPO, for example, so I would, if I invest into Ratan Tata, so I'm investing into the number of companies he owns, not just into Tata Motors or Tata Chemicals, which may not work really well compared to maybe some other companies. So it's basically the main person, the human IPO is the main entity, and then everything else becomes the sub entity, right? And so you invest into the main person. And like you mentioned, like how major founders, their companies, it's generally the second or the third one. So what about the first and second one, the investors who were there then? Completely understand.